Dear Amy Poehler. Amy, you are amazing. You're fantastic, and I really admire you, and you really inspire me a lot with everything you do, basically. Well, I first heard your name and like saw you do stuff, as many people my age did, when you played Hillary Clinton on SNL during the 2008 presidential election, and you were fantastic in that, but I didn't really follow up on you after that because I wasn't that into comedy. I was like, haha, yeah, that's funny, and then I kind of just, you know, moved on with life. And so I kind of knew your name, and then I discovered Parks and Recreation much later, I think around 4 years later, and I got addicted to it. I think, like, I admire you a lot, but your kind of admiration, like your place in my life, is like probably the most recent of like all the people I admire in the world. I've admired a lot of people for a long time, and I've admired for a short amount of time, but you've really shaped my life in the short amount of time you've been in it as a person to admire. Because I don't want to say like you've been in my life because you don't know who I am, and that's kind of creepy and stalkerish. You've really, really, you know, been a big influence so far in what I've seen you in, and I've seen you in a lot since starting and finishing Parks and Recreation, because when I get addicted to something, I get addicted, and I got addicted to you a little bit. I started watching like all of the late night shows you were in and like all of your interviews, and I listened to Yes Please, and which was an amazing book, and I kind of learned all about your life. And yeah, I stalked you a little bit via internet because that's what the internet's for, right? But I mean, the whole reason why I do that is because I can't really get enough of your personality. It's infectious. It's so positive and funny, and you're just such a genuine person, and you can, you know, be snarky and stuff, and you're real like that, and I love that, but you're also very kind and, you know, big-hearted, which you see a lot in your book, Yes Please, which, as I said before, I love, especially when you're talking about that one Dakota Fanning skit that you did on SNL. It was just like a big thing that like you really openly admitted that you made a mistake and were totally willing to talk about it. That was really, like, even though it was pretty far in the past, you were like, it's still on my mind and I want to talk about it because it still affects me even though it was so long ago. And I think that's so important because a lot of the times when I, you know, made a mistake a while ago, even if it still like sometimes comes to my mind, I never talk about it. I never talk about those mistakes because I'm like, well, it's in the past and I learned from it. But sometimes it's important to talk about those things because you say something insensitive or do something insensitive, and maybe later on you're like, maybe I should have done that, but you don't apologize for it necessarily because, you know, you're like, well, it was in the past, that person probably forgot about it. But then the fact that you apologized so much later than like the event actually happened is amazing, and it just shows, like, it just shows me what kind of character you have. I really especially saw this, just your positivity in the movie Inside Out when you played Joy, and I love that movie so much for so many reasons, but especially because it tells you that you're allowed to be sad but be happy at the same time, and, you know, just have emotions because emotions are a good thing. And it was really, really nice to see a movie geared towards kids, but, you know, family-oriented movies, doing that because you don't hear that a lot, and it was just amazing. And the fact that you played Joy, and you played Joy so perfectly, And the fact that Joy as a character was allowed to grow and move past joy and have more complicated emotions and interact with the other emotions was so important to see, and I really, really wish I had that earlier in my life to watch. And I'm really happy for, you know, younger kids and the fact that they get to watch this incredible movie. Thanks to you, I discovered a lot of things. I discovered Smart Girls at the Party, which is such an amazing website and, you know, web series. Really, you introduced me to comedy. Like, I hadn't really watched sitcoms before you. Like, when I was little, I would watch Seinfeld with my dad, but, I mean, it was mostly to spend time with my dad. That was, like, the only sitcom I'd ever really watched. So you kind of introduced me to sitcoms and stuff. And comedy in general. You introduced me to so many names in comedy that I'd never heard of, even just through Parks and Rec, because I would be like, this person's funny, Aziz Ansari's funny, why not look him up? And then I discover Aziz Ansari is freaking hilarious, and I love him so much. Like, through me stalking you and watching, like, all of your old SNL skits and stuff, I discovered a lot of, you know, amazing people through you who are just hilarious, and I love now because of you. I kind of wanted to make this open letter to talk about how awesome you are, because that's really what you are. You are awesome. You are fantastic. And it's not like I don't idolize you, because I don't really tend to idolize people, but I think you are the kind of person I aspire to be a lot of the time. You make me laugh. Of course, you are hilarious, but you're also, like, a good and caring person. And a lot of the times when I'm trying to make people laugh, I tend to, you know, insult them a little bit, which, I mean, is allowed to a certain extent, like, roasting is a thing. But you make people laugh in such a way that the audience is in on the joke. You're not making fun of anyone, really. Everyone's kind of in on the joke and everyone's kind of with you. And I know that takes time to develop, and you've kind of inspired me to do that. Real talk, you came in at a time in my life when I wasn't the happiest with myself at all. And Leslie Knope comes rushing in with her insane positivity and determination to do something in this world. And that was amazing for me, because I needed that positivity in my life. I needed, you know, something to tell me that, like, everything you do is worth something. You're always building towards something, and Parks and Recreation taught me that. As I continued, you know, following your career after that, and, you know, retracing your steps back before that, I've seen, like, how many little things you did and how long it took you to get where you are, and that really helped me, because sometimes I'm very much, like, either it's, you know, you've done it and it's finished, or you haven't even started yet. There are, like, two modes for me, and it's like drafting. I hate rewriting things. The continuous grind of, you know, working hard towards something. But Leslie Knope and your life have taught me that. That's something that's really important for, I think, a lot of my generation to hear, because we see people turn into almost overnight celebrities and things going viral and everything, and we just see success, honestly. At least in my experience, I have seen a lot of success, and I see people's final step into success. And while I know that in my mind that a lot of hard work goes into that success, eventual success, it doesn't feel eventual to me. I just see it as, oh, this person's already so successful and I'm, like, still at the bottom, and I'll never get to the top because I can't do what they do, or I don't see the hard work that goes into everything and just how long sometimes it takes to get to where you want to be. I know that like it's just a constant process of continuing, of trying to, you know, be who you want to be and everything, but it's really nice to have it articulated and, you know, see it and hear it in words, as I did when I listened to your book. It was really nice to hear that you did work hard and it wasn't always fun, because hard work isn't always fun, and you see that a lot with your character, Leslie Knope, because while she tries to remain optimistic, it's, as exemplified in the first couple seasons, it's just a lot of red tape a lot of the time trying to get to this end goal. And for Leslie it took, what, 5 seasons, and for you, and that was just one goal, to get this stupid lot into becoming a park. And for you it's been such a journey from going to this girl living in Boston to, you know, Saturday Night Live, and then later on getting your own show, like reading your book and learning about your life, and just, you know, and just watching you be you. It really showed me how much of a process it is, and how even though it's hard and it's not always fun, it is eventually worth it. Seeing your life and your character's life has kind of taught me that you need to do it. You need to, you know, put in the hours and do that work in order to get where you want to be and to who you want to be. That really helped me at a time where I just thought I wasn't good enough for anything, and at a time where I assumed that everything I had to do had to be perfect on the first try. That I have to put in the hours in order to achieve something, because overnight achievement is not real. It's not real achievement if it's just overnight. It's really incredible that, you know, it's such a commonplace thing to hear, that, you know, you gotta work hard to, you know, get the whatever you want to get. I'm great at metaphors and analogies, but you didn't just tell me that, you know, in book form or in whatever. You showed me that, and that's the difference, you know. Everyone learns by example, and you showed me that it is possible. You just gotta work at it and, you know, remain optimistic as much as possible. And not only that, your character at least inspired me to be more optimistic. Like, watching Leslie lifted my spirit, and watching you perform lifted my spirits, which was, you know, really helpful, and it was great. I thank you for it, really. I thank you for that. Another reason why I wanted to make this video, though, was because when I said this before, when I get into something, I get really, really into it. So, and you really introduced me to comedy, and I actually started writing some comedy stuff thanks to you, because thanks to you, I started watching, I finished watching Parks and Rec, and then I was like, I need more. So then I watched, like, all of Aziz Ansari's stand-up and Nick Offerman's stand-up, and, you know, a lot of SNL skits, and I started writing. I've discovered, especially since I did this creative writing program thing, I've discovered that I've been really injecting comedy into the stories I write, which are pretty dramatic and stuff. Usually they're kind of emotional and everything, but I've started injecting humor into them, and they've just become stronger because of that. And I feel like I'm really finding my voice as a writer, which is really nice. I have you to thank for that, really. So just, Amy, dear Amy, thank you for doing what you're doing, and keep doing it, I guess, because it's amazing and inspiring, and You're just a lovely human being, and I aspire to be like you. Okay, so let's shift the focus to people who actually watch this channel. As you probably know by now, this is part of a 7-day series that I'm doing where I am creating video letters for people I admire. They're, you know, open letters and stuff, and it's been fun to experiment with this form so far, so that's nice. I hope you guys enjoy, and you will be seeing 4 more of these. I'd love for you to leave in the comments below who inspires you and who you admire, and talk about that for a little bit, or of course leave a video response. I love them. I would love to hear your thoughts, and if you watch Parks and Rec or SNL or anything, leave it in the comments below because I would love to fangirl with you for a little bit. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!